See if we have any questions. Any questions? Anybody asking anything? It's exciting. I'm looking at my phone. But at least you're able to see the convention a little more. As you can see, it's getting more crowded. Probably because it's warming up. We don't have as many people who actually have to be here immediately. So, in a way, that's kind of good. Here's a question I got. Excuse me a second. No, I am not boring myself. Let's remember, I'm not working on a whole lot of sleep. Question is, what is it about Jack Kirby that makes him your favorite artist? There are tons of things about Kirby that jump to mind. The creativity, all the work he did, he created all of these characters. But to me, it's the actual stories itself. It's the actual art itself. I'm talking myself here.
I can see that.
Joe left me all alone. Hey, come on over. I need to see this shirt. We're podcasting right now. Okay, so are you watching NXT? Are you addicted to NXT?
You used to post on the comic book thing before, right?
Yeah, I'm Solitaire Rose.
Alright, I tightened something.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, but we're live podcasting, damn it.
Oh.
We're live streaming.
I don't want to be on the cast. I'm too awkward.
Yeah, that's okay. We're just talking to people.
Maybe I'll stop by again.
Okay, well. Not yet.
Oh, I'm going to check this out.
Years.
Right, I totally remember. I loved that community. I wish the message board was still a thing.
It's moved into like Twitter and Facebook and stuff. Peter Rios is very active on Twitter.
Yeah, I follow
and he's
him.
still.
I know he's controversial. I love the guy.
I do too. He still likes to dropping bombs.
Yes, he does.
He's CM Punk of comedy.
He really is. Wow, it's crazy. I'm gonna check this out.
All right, take care. That's the cool thing about conventions. You run into people that you don't see very often. It's I always call it's a family reunion. You know, people you see once or twice a year. Joe has left us. I have not seen Butch yet. Jen is still dancing. We are now 3 hours in, and she is still dancing. She's listening to the radio while dancing, so... And there goes Butch, avoiding us. Joe left me all alone. Joe left me all alone, and I'm just blathering to myself.
I would listen to this show. I don't know if I'd watch it.
But would you be on it?
Is that your jam? I got a couple things I got to do.
Okay.
Maybe one of us throw the scrap here.
By the way, I think she's still waiting on hot dogs. I wasn't able to wait in line as long. So if you know one of the volunteers who could bring her down something, thank you. So why don't you have a seat? We haven't talked to you yet.
All right.
I know maybe your name.
I am Matea Ellingworth.
All right.
I also go by Zombie Cheshire. I run a cosplay page. I am also an admin for the Midwest Cosplay Connection page and for the Minnesota Cosplay page.
So you're one of the cosplayers.
Yes, I am.
And how do you know the lovely and talented Jen Wicked?
I used to work with her.
Okay.
So I met her here last year. I was cosplaying Joker last year. I don't know if she necessarily remembers, but I met her there, and then I ended up working with her at one of the stores that we both went to, and been friends with her since.
And now you're her lovely assistant.
Yes, I am.
How did you get talked into that? Or did you have a choice?
She asked me if I would do it, and being as I hadn't seen her in a while, and I love her to death. She's a good friend of mine. I said yes, and I'm enjoying myself.
Oh, cool. Now, when did you start doing cosplay?
Probably about 7 years ago. It's gone from, barely cosplaying, just doing closet cosplays out of my old wardrobe when I was still in high school, and I've just kind of evolved it through the years.
Okay. Now, were you a comic book fan? Were you an animation fan? Were you a video game fan? Because you've explained you've got tattoos of Final Fantasy.
Yes, I do.
Are you still playing the new ones as they come out?
I have not played the new ones. I'm actually very much a classic gamer.
Okay.
So the older Final Fantasy games, I love Star Ocean. Good old Mario Party is always good. I mainly do cosplays from games as well.
Okay.
I do some comic book ones too.
Now, do you read comics?
I do. I recently gotten into the new 52 Harley, obviously. And I used to read comics a lot more when I was a kid. And I recently sold my entire comic collection, so I got to build it back up again.
Oh, what'd you sell it to get? Cracking hookers?
Gas money.
Yeah, that happens.
I needed gas money to make it back and forth from home to some other stuff I was doing at the time.
Okay. Now, cosplaying is something that I still think of it as fairly new. This convention didn't really have a big cosplay community until about 10 years ago, and it just exploded.
Right.
And we can actually, Joe and I know one of the guys who actually kind of started it. The guy who walks around, he's either Superman or
There's
Elvis.
a girl here, a woman just has the most outrageous cleavage tattoos. You gotta get a picture of her when you get close. It just... Never mind.
So, did you, see it at conventions and stuff? Or did you, I want to do this, and then found the community?
It started out as I wanted to do this. I have a great love for characters in shows, and I feel like when I cosplay the character, I get a deeper understanding of them, and it's just fun. Creating the costumes is a big, long process, but it's a lot of fun to do, and the community is great. I have yet to come across anyone that I don't like in the community. So.
And because cosplaying is new, there are a lot of old comic creators that are like, yeah, these people, they don't know shit about the characters. You chose Harley Quinn. What was your first exposure to Harley Quinn, and why did you choose that character?
I watched the old Batman cartoon a lot when I was a kid, and I absolutely loved Harley in that cartoon. And when I found out that there was comics that gave her backstory, and then now she's got her own comic, I was really excited because that was a character that I grew up with. So
now I feel really old. And you do Harley Quinn, the Joker, any other characters that you do currently?
A few weeks ago for a convention called Anime Detour, I dressed up as Red 13.
Okay.
That's a Final Fantasy character for anyone who knows Final Fantasy VII. I also did Link. I am also currently working on a secret cosplay for my next convention, but that's on the down.
So, Final Fantasy VII fan.
Very much so.
How many times have you played it?
That's a good question. I think I'm on probably my 7th or 8th playthrough of the game.
Can you do something for me?
Sure.
Explain Cloud's backstory, because I played it through twice and I'm lost.
Cloud...
Doesn't he have 3 different backstories and it's... Well, no. This is the real story. No. This is the real story.
It's really confusing. What actually that his friend Zach had told him when they were traveling together, and he mixed them with his own experiences as a child and as a soldier. But he wasn't a first-class soldier with Sephiroth or anything. He was just a standard soldier. But he ended up being experimented on by Hojo, and he lost his memory, and through trauma, he started taking on the characteristics of Zen.
Okay. That almost makes sense.
Almost. When you play all the way through the game, it starts to make more sense. And it's a little confusing at first.
Yes, I played through it twice, and I can explain anything in Marvel continuity. DC, I gave up when they gave up. But Final Fantasy VII is like, I don't know what's real and what's not, and what his true connection is, and ooh, shiny, I want to fight.
Yeah, he was part of the military, and he ended up getting hurt. Hojo experimented on him, and through the traumas that he went through after that, after being in an experiment, he took on the characteristics of, like I said, the guy who he was traveling with, Zach. If you play any of the background story games that are like on the PSP, it explains it a lot better.
Okay. Now you're assisting the lovely and talented Jin Wicked.
Yes, I am.
How is she to work for?
Oh, she's a lot of fun to work for. Lots of dancing.
Yes, I've noticed it's tons of dancing, lots of energy. Whereas I'm over here going, I can't believe I said I was going to do this for 8 hours. But well, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for explaining a little more about cosplaying, and enjoy the convention.
You too. It's nice talking to you.
Nice to talk to you too. Great to meet you. I'm going to check and see if we have any mail since people are running away. Come on, people, give me something to talk about. Other than Jack Kirby. Let's be honest, I could talk about Jack Kirby all day. All day and all of the night. One of the things, as I said, Kirby's stories. The way he tells his story, the way he shows emotion, not just in the superhero stuff, but in his crime stories, in the horror stories. I've recently started reading some of the 50s horror stuff that Kirby did, and it's like a whole new world opening up, where Kirby could draw stuff that was very nightmarish, and not just in the comic The Strange World of Your Dreams, but his horror comics. The monsters are very nightmarish, they're very weird, they're very creepy. And you come out of reading one of those, a lot of horror comics from the 50s, I just read and go, yeah, okay, that was clever, that's not bad. Kirby, I got, disturbed at times. As you can see, it's getting busier. I'm going to turn it over so you can see the crowd at the charity table. Charity table's getting very busy. Oh. You breaking stuff again? Joe has left me all alone with his talk. That may be a bad idea. Especially since I have not been able to go out and get stuff. But I am I did buy a couple things last night, and I think I'll bring them over and we'll talk about them, and we'll talk about why I bought them. That's right. I buy comics to read. The first one, Marvel Essentials Marvel 2-in-1. Marvel 2-in-1 was a... There we go. It was a team-up comic. It was... Oh, wait. I may have someone who will come over and talk. John, grab a seat. We're live on the internet.
Oh, that's cool. What's new?
What's new? We are live streaming. We're live streaming. You're live on the internet right now. Oh, okay.
What happened to Spider Baby?
I have been stuck to the table because we're broadcasting the entire convention. One of my dumber ideas. And
Yeah.
I have not seen him here.
You're stuck here on the table.
Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have to get Joe to...
Leave these here for a little while, okay?
And we'll show him on the bike. No, grab it. Stay. Joe will jump in. So, introduce yourself to the worldwide audience.
Hi, my name's John Heppen. I live in St. Paul, Minnesota.
And what do you do when you're not hanging out at comic conventions?
Well, I'm a geography professor at UW River Falls.
So, remember when you were a kid and you'd read in the Marvel comics? Hey, college students read this. Now it's college professors reading it. And how long you been coming to the convention?
Oh, this must be my 12th or 13th year, 14th year maybe. Long time.
And was it you moved here and found out about
Yeah,
it?
I moved here. I collected comics, before I moved here, but I moved here. You've got the two big shows, so I've been to every one
Okay.
since.
And you also are a big wrestling fan.
Yeah, I love pro wrestling. Yeah.
Now, does that have anything to do with geology?
With geography?
Geography, I'm sorry, geography?
At a very small scale.
Hold on. I just thought of something.
Yeah.
Geography.
Yeah.
Where is parts unknown?
Parts unknown are wherever you think it is.
Okay, because tons of wrestlers come from parts unknown.
They probably don't want to reveal where they're from because there might be retribution to their family.
Okay. Because I know The Undertaker originally was parts unknown.
Parts unknown.
Then Death Valley.
Death Valley. That makes good sense. I think wrestlers should be from somewhere. It sort of adds to their character.
Well, Mick Foley was. Cactus Jack was from Truth or Consequences, New Mexico.
Right, and there's some wrestler says he's from Hell, Michigan.
Yes.
Right. And, I always thought Death Valley, can't go wrong with that.
Can't go wrong with Death Valley.
It adds to their character. If they're from someplace sinister or with the badass reputation.
Yeah. Or, they turn it. There are wrestlers who can turn where they're from into the character, such as Lance Storm, who's from Calgary,
Right.
Alberta, Canada.
Right. And, Rob Van Dam was from Battle Creek, Michigan. Kind of a badass name.
Not really, because when I think Battle Creek, Michigan, I think
cereal?
breakfast cereal. So I always thought Rob Van Dam was pretty much just eating Frosted Flakes all the time. We've since learned he just smokes pot.
So you're supposed to be on every minute of every second.
We have just turned the camera on and we're talking.
Okay.
Now we're not going to talk the whole time because Lord knows I've tried. But we're having people come by. What do you look for at a comic convention? What are you here to buy?
Oh, let's see. I'm sort of looking for some action comics and adventure comics with some early appearances of Supergirl.
Okay.
Right?
Kind of like Joe. Joe likes the 70s Supergirl.
Yeah, that's not a bad book. She got really her own book in Adventure Comics. I think she started in 381. And she had a run for a couple years.
Took the place of the Legion of Superheroes.
Right. And then I also like some of the action comics. 252 is her first appearance. I just have to reprint that. It's a hard comic to bind. It's expensive. If you want to get into condition in which you can hold it without it falling apart, right? But I'm also looking for some Archie books. I love the art from the Silver Age Archies.
Oh, okay. Now, are you reading the current Archies?
Yeah, I like it a lot. It took me a while to get used to the new art, but I like it.
I think Fiona Staples is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, her work on Saga is good, and then putting her on Archie.
Right.
I got to be honest, I love Mark Waid, but I was kind of nervous about an Archie reboot.
Right.
Because while the new look stuff was okay,
it never really caught on.
No.
Nobody really liked it. And it looked too
sorry,
much
Stephanie. We love you. We love your coloring on it, but it yeah.
looked a little too manga for
Yeah.
my taste. Right? I mean, I still like the traditional, what you might call the traditional Archie look. Right. So I mainly get that through the Silver Age books.
Okay.
I mainly like to look for Silver Age books that have a nice cover. I like generally what people would call the good girl art of Betty and Veronica.
Okay, yeah.
It's sort of what
So
I look,
Dan DeCarlo.
Dan DeCarlo, exactly. Some of it, more contemporary times, like Dan Parent's work.
Okay.
I think is pretty good. I really liked the Afterlife with Archie.
Yes.
I thought the artwork on that was incredible. To me, it was newer looking, but it still looked like it came from the Silver Age.
Yes.
So yeah.
And if you look at the early 70s horror books
Right,
they
yeah.
did, it's the same color scheme.
Right. I
Which
really
was a
liked.
unique color scheme to Archie. Nobody else was coloring comics like that at the time.
Right.
And now, on Afterlife with Archie, they're doing that same color scheme, which I don't think a lot of people pick up on.
Right, yeah, because it's been such a long time. And I also like Archie versus Predator was a good book. I don't know if you had a chance to read
I did
that.
read that. I thought they went through people way too fast, though.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a limited, what, 4 or 6?
Yeah, it's a 4 issue.
Yeah, so you had to go through some people kind of quick. But I thought that was just excellent. Because sometimes when they do cross, like the Kiss crossover, that was a couple years ago with the Archie books, wasn't too impressed with that. But when they mixed it with Predator, I thought it was pretty good. As the Archie Punisher book,
That one was so much fun.
they did such a good job.
And I like the fact that the Archie team handled the Archie art, and Punisher was drawn by John Buscema.
Right.
That had to be a lot of work.
But it was good. So, you know, I'm hoping they come back maybe with the traditional Archie art. You know,
I think they've kind of decided that the traditional Archie is going to be in the digest.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Because they're putting out tons of digests. I will buy, especially the 1,000 pagers.
Oh, yeah, that's a good deal.
Those 1,000 pagers are amazing.
They are. And I guess what's interesting in the digest, they're starting to put out new stories.
Yes.
Right, which is pretty cool. So I guess you can, you know, sort of have it both ways. You have your traditional Archie art. You can always buy the back issues.
Any memories of older conventions?
Oh, I'd have to say the first Wizard show I went to in Chicago.
Wizard.
I know.
We kicked their ass.
I know.
They're gone.
But
They are
this-
not coming back to the Twin Cities. We kicked their ass.
This was before they became jerks.
You did hear.
I didn't go the last 2 years. They're not coming back?
They have pulled Minneapolis from the schedule
Well, good.
because we scared them off, we killed them, we crushed them. It was like Vince McMahon with the NWO. You're done.
Right.
Fired.
And I had nothing against Wizard coming, but to do it when they did, it's like,
Yeah.
come on. You know, you can't tell. They could have done it at a different time. And I went to the first time they were here, and if you like to collect comics, that wasn't your show.
Right. They call themselves a Comic-Con. They're not a comic convention. They are a media show.
Right. You bring in, you know, failed, no good celebrities, right? I mean, seriously. Well, they brought Shatner in that one year, but and they charged $30 for Ian Zier's autograph. Give me a break, you know.
Well, everybody wants it because of Sharknado.
Right. So I went to the first one, and I'm like, I like to collect comics. This is not what I want on a con. That's why I like this and the fall con so much better. It's mainly about comics, and you know, you have the artists, right? You do the forums, right? And if you're into comic books, this is, I think, the show to go to. And then the pricing, so much friendlier for
Yeah.
your person.
$14 for 2 days.
Right, can't go wrong. But going back, yeah, probably the first Wizard, when they were in Chicago, I worked with my dad in the Chicago show. And it was the first time I'd ever gone to a really big show. Right? And that's back when Wizard was about comics.
Yeah.
And I just remember all the books I was able to see. That's one thing I like about coming to cons. And this one is, it's almost like going to a museum. You can say, oh, there's, X-Men 94, right? When they rebooted it. Or there's Hulk 181. Right? So that's what I mainly, I was looking. To me, it's also a lot of fun.
Yeah. Now, do you come to get sketches or to meet certain creators?
It depends. It depends who the creator. Like Alan Hughes, that was really cool. I think Howard Chaykin, though, that probably was one of the best times I've had meeting a creator. Because, it wasn't that busy. It was like a Sunday afternoon. I came back, and you could talk to him about stuff and get his opinion on things.
And Howard Chaykin has opinions.
He does, and it's and he's pretty cool. I mean,
I love Howard. I love Howard Chaykin, not just for all the work he's done,
right.
but every time I've met him at any convention. And it used to be, that I was just a fanboy going to conventions, and now, being more involved.
Right.
Every time you meet him, he's a character.
He is.
He's got a huge personality, and he's not afraid to share an opinion.
Right. And so I love, what do you think of this? Oh, I hate it, and it was pretty awesome. And he would give you time and talk to you about stuff, right? And Frank Choi, long time ago. I remember when he came. That was kind of, because he's Korean, right? And I'm half Korean. So it was kind of neat talking to him a little bit. I asked him, in Liberty Medals in your books, why don't you have any Korean characters? And he told me the pig was a Korean character.
I don't know if we've told the Frank Cho story. Now, I know that the first day he didn't do sketches, and the second day he did.
Right.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because we got him at the poker game.
Okay.
We got him hooked into a game of In Between. Now, do you know what In Between is?
Yeah.
In Between is, it's not poker. It's
2 cards.
one card here, and you say whether the card that's going to be put down, the third card, is in between these cards.
Right. That's a deadly game. People are,
Well, what it is, it's, and you bet against the pot.
Right.
So, as you can bet up to the amount of the pot. So let's say I put down a 4 and a king. You could get, I bet $1. And if it comes between, you take $1 out. If it's outside of that, you put $1 in. If it's either a 4 or a king, you have to double.
I know, that's what gets people. You'll see somebody with an ace and a king. They'll call the ace low, right?
Yep.
I've also played that game, that other part is called high-low.
Yep.
Right? But I've seen people with an ace and king and get another ace. Then they're screwed.
Frank Cho got a great hand. 2 and a king. And they've been playing for a while. And Nick was playing, and you know how Nick likes to jack the pot. Everything Nick did had to be big. There was around $400 in the pot. 2 and a king. $400 in the pot. Frank Cho says pot. King goes down. You had to put in $800 cash. A little later on, I don't know who it was because I wasn't there. I've only heard the secondhand story. Somebody else got like an ace and a queen. And they went pot, and it was a 7. Somebody said, "Why did you do that?" He said, "I counted in my head. That was the last ace, and all the kings were gone." What about the queens? Crap, I forgot about the queens. And Frank Cho said, "I can't go home $800 short. I'm sketching tomorrow." So he spent all of Sunday.
That's pretty good.
Now, the local wrestling scene, you're a big fan of.
Yep.
What's probably the best of the local federations to go see?
Oh, it depends. If you want the best wrestlers, or I would say something that maybe have the highest production. You know, what you want to look for in a good local show, you want good wrestlers.
Yep.
You want guys who first look the part, can do it, and you kind of want, you know, nice production value.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to look like this is in someone's basement.
Yeah.
Right. So I would say, for having fun at a show, I would say IWI. And now, if you want...
Now, where does IWI set up?
Mounts Theater in St. Paul.
There you go.
Historic Theater, Mounts Theater. They run it every month. Spider Baby, the regular wrestler there. And I would also say Prime Time Wrestling, they run shows at the Knights of Columbus and Bloomington.
Okay.
They do a good job. So I would say, you know, Steel Domain does a good job as well.
Now, Steel Domain's been around for a long time.
Right. They've
And
the St. Paul Championship Wrestling. They're running a show tonight, by the way.
And Mick Karch is involved with them.
Yep,
Mick
yep.
Karch, who was the announcer for AWA.
Yep.
Hell of a great guy. Hell of a great guy. He used to come into the Shinders I worked at in the early 90s.
Which one?
Eden Prairie.
Okay.
I had a lot of wrestlers come into that one. And, yeah, I wasn't a wrestling fan. And, you know, Mick would come in to buy magazines and stuff, and he and the other wrestlers would chat. That's kind of how I became a fan.
Right.
Because I was a kid and I watched it, and I quickly realized, you know, whoever they introduce first loses.
Right.
Well, I don't want to watch this anymore if I know who's going to win. But Mick's a hell of a great guy, and I don't get time to go to the shows as much as I would like.
Right.
But I always make time when Ring of Honor comes to town.
Oh yeah, they're coming in June.
Yes.
June.
And they usually come 2 to 3 times a year.
Right.
Now, did you watch Ring of Honor before Sinclair bought them back when they came in the early 2000s?
Let's see. I saw Ring of Honor, I believe, the last time they came to the St. Paul Armory off of Cedar.
Yep.
I think that was around April 07.
Yes, and it was Colt Cabana's Goodbye.
Colt Cabana, Homicide was on the card, Austin Aries. It was a good card because then guys from TNA Wrestling would also be on the card. Right? Rain and Lacey were on the card as well. Christopher Daniels was on the card. Homicide. They brought a lot of good guys. Takashi Morishima was the HOW was the champ of ROH. And he took on Austin Aries in the title match. I remember that.
Did you ever get to see any of the, like when CM Punk was with them, or Bryan Danielson, or Samoa Joe?
No, I never really got a chance to see. I would have loved to have seen CM Punk.
By the way, we are broadcasting on the interwebs, on YouTube. We're live. We're live, partner. But I always said the best match I ever saw CM Punk have was with the Pepsi machine at the St. Paul Armory when it ate his dollar, and he completely lost his shit and beat it up.
Would have loved to have seen that. I don't know what he's doing now.
He's training for MMA.
Oh, he'll be back to wrestling.
No. Here's the thing. Everybody says, oh, he'll be back, he'll be back. CM Punk saved his money.
Right.
Because when he was WWE champion, he was still sharing an apartment with Colt Cabana.
Okay.
He didn't buy a house till near the end of his run.
Right.
And he didn't spend money.
Right.
He never has to work again, ever. And you know what? If I had millions of dollars and AJ Lee is my wife,
Right.
I wouldn't go anywhere either.
Yeah.
I'd stay home.
So then why is he even doing MMA? Because you could legitimately, let's be honest, really get hurt.
For the challenge.
Challenge. See, that's why I think he'll come back. Because look at Brock Lesnar. You can make almost as much money and not have to, and be less concerned about dying in the ring or breaking a leg.
But if you watch,
choked to death.
Did you watch the CM Punk documentary?
No, I haven't seen it.
He said, when I'm done, I'm done. I want nothing. I loved it when I started, and I don't like it anymore. And he even said, this was a WWE documentary for his DVD set, said, when I'm gone, and I will be gone much sooner than you think. And it wasn't even a year later.
But,
He didn't love it anymore.
yeah, I could see some of these guys say he was so good with the mic.
Yeah.
Right? And The Rock came back. If there's one guy who fits your model, he doesn't need the money. He's a big movie star. The
But-
Rock came back.
But The Rock had family.
Right,
The Rock grew up in the business.
right.
CM Punk, they didn't, his big complaint was, I was the champion, I was not the main event in any of the shows.
Well,
He feels he was treated poorly. And as we see from people coming back like Alberto Del Rio and Jericho and guys, they're still going to treat you poorly. That's why Batista won't come back. Batista said, I'll come back, but I won't do TV.
all right.
Because
I mean, it is a grinding
They,
schedule.
they,
and
they treat you poorly on TV.
They do. But I don't know. Lesnar came back. There's another guy who you could say, oh, he doesn't need the money. He made millions in MMA.
Have you seen his wife?
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs some money.
I'll just say this.
I don't think Sable's someone who's going to, stop at the Come and Go for a couple of hot dogs off the grill.
Right, or shop at Aldi, right?
Yeah, she's not going to Walmart.
I'll just say this. I would not be surprised if CM Punk does come back.
I
Because
would.
From what I'm seeing, WWE stock price has gone down.
Yeah, they
TV
still do
network-
good.
Yeah, the TV network hasn't done as well as they thought.
No, that I'll disagree with because they went over 1 million a year before they thought they would.
All right.
And their churn is much lower than even I thought it would be. I thought their churn would be much bigger.
Well, people are. You do have a loyal following. Right.
But
I kinda
my concern was, they'll sign up for WrestleMania and then they'll drop.
No, people.
And they found they don't do that.
I mean, if you watch 2 or 3 pay-per-views a year, the $9.99 a month is a deal, right? But I've read some of the stock, their earnings. From what I've also seen, their gate for their TV revenue is very important. I don't know if you saw it came out a couple of weeks ago. Their stock price went down because the quarterly reports weren't as good.
Although they were up 13% year over year.
All right.
And they, of course, thought everything was great. But one of the things about the WWE, think about right now, how many of their big stars are out injured?
Yeah, quite a few.
And they're still pulling, one of the biggest audiences in cable.
Right, because it's...
They've built the machine.
Right. I mean, for cable, it's awesome, right? Monday Night Raw is live. You don't have to worry about spoilers or the internet ruining a Monday night. And from what I've read, it's one of the most loyal audiences.
Right.
Right.
But look at NXT. NXT is just on the network,
Right.
and they're selling out venues.
Well, they're smaller venues, but they're selling them
They're,
out.
but if you look at what WWF was selling out in because PW Insider, which is where I get most of my news, they will have the attendance figures for older shows. 89, 90, WWF was pulling 2,300 here, 5,000 here. They'd be at the Target Center with Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. They'd sell, just 6,000 tickets. NXT is selling out 6, 7, 8,000 seat venues.
No, it'd
So-
be interesting to see. Wrestling does have a history of cycles.
Yes.
Right. And I have to admit, though, they've held up stronger against MMA because a lot of folks were predicting MMA would hurt the WWE because you can get the same type of
Right.
entertainment and it's real, right? You see guys break their legs.
Yeah. But the problem with MMA is it's harder. It's become much harder for them to generate stars.
Yeah.
They had the big stars, and now Ronda Rousey was their biggest star. She got beat. You haven't heard much about her anymore because, once you get beat in MMA, it's like, you loser.
So that's why, like boxing, you remember when the boxers were the big stars. Everyone knew who the heavyweight champ was.
Yeah.
Whether it was Mike Tyson, Larry Holmes, or people, everyone
Yeah.
Thomas Hearns, Roberto Duran, right? And it's interesting what's happened to boxing. I can't tell you time.
And after Tyson, no one cares.
I don't know who the heavyweight champion is.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time I got interested in a fight was Pacquiao versus Mayweather. But I really didn't feel like paying $90. But it did sell out.
I won't pay $90 for anything. Yeah, I won't. The omnibuses I buy, I have to buy them at half price. You know, and they're $125 comics. Oh no. Now, if I could get that for $50, I'll buy it. Jen has decided she's going to dance with us for a while. How's the show going for you?
I don't know.
Are you having fun?
I don't know.
Are you dancing?
That I am.
So what character? I'm sorry, I don't recognize what character are you?
She is Jen Wicked, the artist. She's not a character. And she's my bestest friend in the whole universe.
I'm a character.
Not from a...
Well, that's pretty
Okay, you are a character from a comic because you draw comics about yourself.
I'm just a character.
Well, that too. But after you're done, you should go over and take a look at her work. It's amazing.
Yeah,
And those of you who are watching online, jimwicked.com.
All right. All right, I want to go look around. It's good talking to you.
Good to talk to you too. Great to see you.
Good seeing you. Nice to see you not running the charity table.
Yeah, we've handed it off to the next generation.
Take it easy. I'll see you at a wrestling. You got to come out to a show sometime.
I got to get some time off.
All righty. Take it easy.
I'm going to text Joe and get him to come over here. I know, compelling television right now. See if I've gotten any questions, any answers. Any questions? Any answers? Anyone care for a mint? I've got cookies. I actually screwed up and forgot the bacon at home because I'm an idiot. But you knew that. You knew that. I talk about it on the podcast all the time. That I'm a big doofy idiot.
I'm glad I walked into that because he is very correct. He is a big doofy idiot. Oh, you've got a giant thing.
Not only that, take a look at that cover. Oh, show the cover to... Now, this is a comic where the Thing would team up with people.
Oh, yeah.
So, who do you think the villain is in that? Who do you think he's teaming up with? Because the cover was the Thing meets, and they had a big question mark.
Is it Batman?
That's what you're supposed to think.
Yeah.
No.
Is it really?
Where is that? It was the Sphinx.
Oh, God. Okay, I can see that. The Sphinx being one of the more popular villains of the 1980s.
And 70s.
The 70s, whatever.
One of the more confusing villains because his history got really weird.
Oh, yeah. He became a planet for a while, didn't he?
No, he was the one who he knew everything that was going to happen. So he planned things out. And then we find out he knew because he pissed off Galactus and Galactus made him relive his life.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
So he got stuck in a time loop. And then they broke him out of the time loop and tried to use him again. And it's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. And then nobody used him anymore because his history kept getting more and more convoluted.
Yeah, and then he eventually crushed his power gem, which killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah. It all makes sense because Galactus made him relive his life, but he could really get out of it at any point.
Yeah. So I texted Joe
Yeah.
to have him come because I need a restroom break.
You want to go?
I would love to. Can you take over?
I can try to take over.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I can take over.
Yeah, I don't know. Just grab people as they go
Where-
by, see if they have something interesting. You could have Gwen come and talk about the convention.
Yeah.
I am running.
He's going to run to the potty.
I'm going to run to the restroom. Dan would like to ask you about the convention.
I would?
And what you do here. Please.
I would love to.
Oh,
help,
but-
I have to go do the stuff that I'm doing. Like,
Oh, she's got to do stuff. So what she's saying, yeah, take a picture of the, yeah. This is a very important shot. This
Yes.
way, you, as audiences, are seeing what you look like to us, which is us.
Exactly.
yes.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And
So,
I'm off to do more convention fun stuff.
off to do more convention fun stuff.
Art projects for the children, pictures of everybody.
Oh, children are more important than talking to me. I see.
Children are more important. Sorry.
Oh, you know, I have to get this idea of what children actually mean to people, because they mean nothing to me except for they buy my stuff once in a while. Then they're important, but other than that, you know. So if you're a kid watching this, I don't apologize, but you know, you probably shouldn't be, considering how much we swear. At least when I'm on. So it's good to meet you all. I hope you enjoy seeing this. Daniel Stitchmore, if you haven't seen the earlier part of this, I'm on the podcast every once in a while. So, what should we talk about? Should we talk about what's going on in the convention? You can see the people walking behind me. I'm sure they've already explained that to you. Right now we are at, almost 2 o'clock. So we've been here for almost 4 hours, or at least we've been active for about 4 hours. We have wonderful things. Hello. We have people. I'm live streaming at the moment. Come sit down. No. What do you mean no? I need somebody to talk to. I'm giving somebody.
Well, Jason can talk to you.
Hi, Jason. How are you?
Hi, pretty good. How about yourself?
Oh, good. This is Jason. How do you pronounce your last name?
Stop.
I wanted to call him Strode, but that's Corey's last name. So, how long have you been here today?
Actually, just came in.
You just came in?
Just came in. Actually, found your booth, which was actually, you got a really good spot this year.
Oh, really? Oh, mine.
Yeah,
yes.
your spot.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, you got a
I
good
like it a
spot.
lot. Yes. I asked to be by these guys because, you know, they're crazy and they let me be on camera every once in a while, so.
Who would do such a thing?
I know, it's actually a scary thought. So, how many times have you been to Comic-Con?
Actually, this is my first time.
This is your first time?
This is my first time.
Perfect! So, what are your first thoughts walking in the door?
It's nice to be at an event that I'm not...
Running?
Yeah, thank you. Took the words right out of my mouth.
For those of you who don't know, Jason is actually, at the moment, what's your position called?
Con-chair of Anime Detour.
Con-chair of Anime Detour. I was thinking president, but I knew that was wrong.
It would be the first time I've been called that.
President Stop.
No, never say that again.
President Stop. It's like, isn't that from Spaceballs?
Scrooge, President.
Oh man, we're geeks and we don't know this. What the hell? President.
Okay, that's gonna be stuck in my head.
I know.
Is Scrooge or is President something like that? Yeah.
Oh well. Anyway, so you can be in the sequel.
That apparently they're still doing.
Yes, actually, they got green lighted for it just recently.
Did they?
Yeah. Once the new Star Wars movie came out, which for some reason I'm blanking. The Force Awakens. When that came out, they got the green light to do the sequel.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Kind of frightening, isn't it?
Considering half the cast is kind of deceased or can't act anymore.
Details. Really. It's a Mel Brooks movie. Who cares if they know how to? You know?
They'll figure it out.
Yeah. So it was good to come into a con that you're not running.
No, actually, yeah, it's good to actually see things. A lot of things I usually don't get to see.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the dealers hall at some of the conventions that I'm in, I never get a chance to actually walk through. So it's good to actually get the opportunity to look around and see a lot of the festivities, so to speak. Things that I wish I could buy but can't afford.
And you're here with your future wife, so you know she's going to see things that she wants that you can't afford.
Don't tell her this, but if it wasn't for her dragging me here, I probably wouldn't have came. But this meant a lot to her. But I am glad I'm here.
Good. It's a fun time. So, you know, and it's not that expensive to get in. And so, yeah,
It ain't that bad.
which is good. Especially if you come with your future brother-in-law, who'd probably pay to get you in.
Again, details.
Details. I know too much about your life.
You know more about my life than I know about my life.
It's kind of a frightening thought, yes. So, how much have you gotten around so far?
Actually, we came in and just walked right around, so barely anything so far.
Barely anything? Okay. Well, you'll have to get around. There's some good stuff.
Yep. Well, I'm going to find the rest of the party, see where they went.
Fine, just abandon me. Get out.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll come back to see you later.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, catch you later.
Thank you. That was Jason. Jason Staub. Jason Staub, yes. I always keep getting his name wrong. Oh well. So, I'm just going to continue to babble. And I don't have Wolfie here to do it, which is kind of annoying because he's the one that's good at babbling. I mean, I'm good at babbling, but then it just gets annoying. Of course, we could, and Corey would get very mad at me, but we could always do things. All right, let us look at this. And this is what is called a comic convention. I'm not entirely sure what they do here, but as far as I know, there are some of those books with pictures in it, which is a wonderful thing, from what I've heard. I started reading some about that man-bat who dresses up like a bat and fights crime. And then, of course, there's the man in the suit made of some sort of metal. I believe that he's called Aluminum Man. Mr. Anthony Stark, who's part of Game of Thrones, I believe. But the people who draw him are here. And he himself is not here, which I'm surprised about, because this seems exactly the place that you would have him arrive. Now, as you can see, we have multiple things walking behind us. I'm not sure exactly what everything is. We have some things in costume, as you see behind us now, and I believe one was from Star Trek as the thingy with the gun, and then the aqua person behind him, who I believe said it's a bear trap, or at least I've heard. And then following them was a woman in a white hair and black, and she was I believe also in Star Trek as the cat lady. So of course you see multiple people as well who are as from what I've been told in character, they are doing background cosplay, I believe is the name of it. They look like normal people, but they're not. They actually, they're very specific background characters from different comic books. For instance, I believe we had this woman in pink behind me. She was in issue 152 of The Amazing Spider-Person. She was looked in the train and went, and that was pretty much what she did. As well as that, hello, we have Steampunk Bunny just went by. These two who are coming through in the shot right now, they were in Aluminum Man 375, which was part of the Cola Wars series, and they were twins, but the person who is drawing them unfortunately didn't understand that they were supposed to be identical twins, so they actually ended up not looking like each other. But these things happen when you don't know the story as you're drawing them. So I've been told. Hello.
Oh, got that sweet hat.
Oh, thank you very much. Let's see. What else? Let's see what else is coming by. We have. Oh my good lord! I have no idea what this is going to be, but it looks like a box head with ears. Look at this. Yes, it's amazing. It seems to be Foliage Boy. This one, unfortunately, I honestly don't know what it is that I'm seeing. Yes. Oh, actually, I bet I do. It is probably from that video game, Mine Construction. I believe is what it's called. Oh, pixelation, things like that. If you can see, we have more behind us. We have more of those background characters. One is from Green Light Source, issue actually number 1, surprisingly enough. but they didn't last long. They were only in one panel because, of course, they couldn't afford to keep them there. So, once again, that was a surprise there. The one with the red. He's amazing in Light Source number 2. He replaced the other person that I was talking about because that's what, of course, they did. I expect a lot of people are probably going to fast forward past this because I have no idea what I'm talking about or what historical information I should place in here. So I'm going to continue just being a complete moron as I go on. Now, as you can see... hold on a moment. Yes.
This is why they don't let me walk around.
Oh, look, he's got an aluminum man. Thor, Essential Thor. How'd you find these in the bathroom?
Because it was on the way.
Oh, Defenders. Oh, Ghost Rider. Oh, nice. Spider-Man and Iron Man. Awesome.
Now, the thing about Thor, these were the ones that this is when I started reading Thor. So you've got this wonderful John Buscema art. Len Wein and Roy Thomas doing it. But you got John Buscema drawing it, and he liked drawing Thor because he hated superheroes. And he could draw this stuff because it had, horses and fun costumes and things like that. And you know who took over after John Buscema left?
Richard Pryor.
Walter Simonson.
Oh.
This was his first run on Thor. And the thing is, it doesn't look like Walt Simonson because it's very heavily inked by Tony DeZumbia.
Nice.
But still, he had that Kirby power. And this is kind of the start of the story where they brought in more of the mythological Thor to the comic book Thor.
Okay, nice.
Defenders, this is J.M. DeMatteis, and some of the art was Sal Buscema, which I liked, and some of it was Don Perlin, which I didn't. And this was J.M. DeMatteis very, very early on.
All right.
So you already know his storytelling ticks, but he didn't have his skills yet.
Okay.
So he's learning how to write. I remember at the time really enjoying it, but now when I read back, it's like, oh yeah, I bet he doesn't want these out there. This is the end of the Ghost Rider run.
Oh, have the end of it?
Yes.
Okay.
The original run.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, have I told you how Jim Shooter, who was editor at the time, felt about Ghost Rider?
No.
He hated the character.
Okay.
Hated it. To the point where he would complain, why do we still have to publish this book? And they would go, well, it's above, the sales are good enough, blah, blah, blah. So what he would do, he would assign people to the book who were under contract whose work he didn't like because he felt it was bad. And if he put the bad writers and the bad artists on it,
okay,
or the new writers and new artists on it, sales would tank.
Okay.
And they didn't. It lasted 81 issues.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look, it's a lot of the people who are on it are people who are, this is kind of their first job. Lance, good to meet you.
How's it going? Nice, good to meet you,
I'm
man.
good.
I've seen you for years walking around and never knew who you were. So.
Oh, we're live streaming right now on the internet. So
awesome, Lance Ward, cartoonist extraordinaire. How you doing, everyone? Come to my table and buy my comics.
What kind of comics do you do? Grab a chair and talk about what you're doing.
Yes, I'll be back.